Overloading relates to polymorphism that we have already learned in object oriented programming. Polymorphism refers to a function or an operator performing or exhibiting several forms. So, the implementation of polymorphism is done using this function overloading and operator overloading in C++. Overloading is making an object, a function or a class performing more work than what is actually expected of it. Generally in C++ we overload only functions and operators. So, we will see how function overloading and operator overloading is implemented in this software programming paradigm. Function overloading is defined as the process of using the same name for two or more functions. So, one function exhibits different forms because we are giving it the same name. Name is actually an identity for a function. So, when there is more than one function with the same name, we have to identify that function stating that there are several functions having the same name. So, how to differentiate between the two? So, that same name function is doing more jobs than it is expected to do. That is why it is called overloading. And each redefinition of the function, that is a function has the same name. So, when it is being defined again and again, so when there are two functions you will have two definitions, three functions, three definitions. So, how are we going to differentiate between these? It is done using the type of parameters. The functions will be different in the data type of the arguments that they hold or the number of parameters. One function will have only one argument, another function can have two or three, or in the sequence in which the parameters are arranged in the function. So, though the functions have the same name, based on the parameters that they carry, either they will be different in the data type, different in number or different in the sequence of arrangement. The number type or sequence of parameters in a function is only called the function signature. So, signature is something that identifies a person. Similarly, signature of a function identifies the function. So, the difference in the functions, though they have the same name, is called the function signature. We will see an example for function overloading. Here you have the class which is called over. You have two functions defined under the public section, that means they are visible to all the other objects and classes and functions. One function is having an integer type value to be returned. The name of the function is max. It is carrying two integer variables int and int. The next function returns a float value. The name of this function is also max, but if you see it is having two arguments of type float. So, though both the functions are having the same name max and max, the number of arguments are same, but the data type of their arguments are different. Like one function is having an integer argument, the other is having float. So, here the functions are defined, the class gets over there itself, but you are defining the function outside the class using the scope resolution operator, which we have already seen in the previous session. So, using the class name and the two semicolons, two colons one after the other called the scope resolution operator, the name of the function and the variables they carry. You are opening the function here using the flower brace, and here you are trying to find out of two numbers which number is the maximum. So, if n1 and n2 are the two numbers which are passed to this function, you are checking whether n1 is greater than n2. If n1 is greater, you are returning the value n1, and if n2 is greater, you are giving the else statement and returning the value n2. This is for the integer function. Next, you are closing the function definition over here. Next, you are having the second function with the same name max, which is having a float return type, again the class name, scope resolution operator, the name of the function max and the arguments. In this again you are checking whether n1 is greater, if so you are returning the value of n1, and if n2 is greater you are returning the value of n2. So, with this the creation of the class part is over. So, the name of the class is over, it is having only public member functions, they are having the same name max, so that is only called function overloading. One function max is carrying integer arguments, the other function max is carrying float arguments. So, both the functions are doing the work of determining of the two numbers which are sent to it, which number is greater. So, using the main function, how we are going to make use of these overloaded function max. So, you see max and max are having the same function name. We all know that the execution of a C++ program starts from the main function. So, in main you are creating first the object for the class, because every function can be accessed only using the object of the class, and the syntax for creating the object is class name followed by object name. So, here the object name is O1, and then directly you are using the cout function where you are calling this function max. So, using the object O1 dot max, we have already seen that the dot is the member access operator. To access the member of a class or the member function of a class, you should use this dot operator. So, using the object O1, you are accessing the function max. So, now of which of the two functions, which particular function will be called, that depends upon these arguments. So, here if you see, you are having two arguments 3.1 and 4.5. We all know that when there is a decimal value, it is a float, it means a float value in C++. So, immediately the control will go to the max function which is carrying the float values. So, we will see which is the max function carrying the float values. This max function is carrying the float values. So, the 3.1 and 4.5 will get back to this max function float n1 and float n2. So, instead of this n1 it will be 3.1 and instead of this n2 it will be 4.5. Then it will check the values over here, whether n1 is greater than n2 it will return n1, otherwise it will return n2. So, this is how the max function is identified among the two other functions. Now, if you see the next function call, here again you are having a cout function, here you are having O1 dot max again, but the values which are passed here are integer values 10 and 5, there is no decimal. So, when this particular parameter is seen by the compiler, immediately it will see which of the two max functions have to be called. The first function is having integer values, the second is having float. So, because they are passing integer arguments of 10 and 5, it will immediately switch control to this max function. And again it will execute the same set of statements. If 10 is greater than 5, return 10, otherwise return 5. So, we know that 10 is greater than 5. So, immediately the result that will be returned to the function is 10. So, cout statement will first display 10. So, the cout statement here will first display 4.5 and the next cout statement will display the value 10. So, this is how, though the functions have the same name, based on the arguments which are passed to the function, it will compare the data type of the arguments, the number of the arguments, the sequence in which the arguments are arranged of the functions which are defined, and according to the arguments which are passed, it will execute that particular function and it will return the result back to the main function. That is why in both these functions there was a return type integer and float. Integer function will return only integer type values, float function will return float type values. Now, we should be very careful when we are passing the arguments over here. Now, suppose here instead of you have just given 10 and 5.5. In that case, the compiler will get confused because there is no such declaration of a function. Either you have two float values and two integer values. Now, if you are going to pass one integer and one float value over here, the compiler will not accept it. There will be an error because there is no such function called max. So, when we are overloading a function, the programmer should be extremely careful that he should be aware of how the functions are overloaded and how the functions differ, and according to that he should call those functions. If the functions are declared in a different way and you call the functions in a different way, the compiler will not be able to execute your program. So, that is a point to be kept in mind when we are overloading these functions.